Well, I'd like to welcome everybody a fantastic morning. This is Byron Belka calling in from Spanish Fork, Utah, here at my home. And I'm excited this Saturday morning as we have a chance to once again take a few minutes and help people, as it says here, build with confidence if they're new to this industry, trying to learn the basic principles and understand what we call the rain cycle. And that is our way of taking people just through our system and helping them turn and create duplication in their teams. And one of the things that we focus on in the rain cycle is the result. And that's what we're going to talk on today. And a lot of times, this is kind of like moving step by step. If you can go through each of these cycles, starting with the fuel, the foundation, the launch, they kind of build on each other. And as people become more and more skilled at each of these different areas, once again, they learn and they grow and become better at each of them. And the result is one of the things that I think is the most important, because a lot of times we get really good at sharing the message. We become great inviters. We can get people in front of the opportunity. We can have people experience rain, see what it is. All these things happen. A lot of times, what ends up happening is after they've received the message, we just leave it open ended. Okay, we don't tie it down. And when I mean tie it down, that is just we're really looking for results. And when I say results, we're looking for somebody to make a decision. That's really what we're doing. We're searching for decisions. And if we leave it open-ended, a lot of times people will waste our time. And in this industry, the more people that waste your time, the more time that's wasted. It's one of our most precious assets that we have, not only in our industry, but in life. And so it's important that we don't take people all the way to the almost end of the rain cycle and forget to focus on the result. So that's kind of what we're going to do today, is focus on how we can get people to make a decision one way or another so that we can get a result and move on, or put them on our drip list, as we're going to talk about, and what we do with people at that point. So a lot of times when we're dealing with the result, people are nervous when they get a question or a concern, or somebody has they might consider it an objection, but it's not an objection. If somebody has a concern when you're talking to them, it's actually a good thing. A lot of times when I'm just telling somebody about the business and I'm excited and they're just nodding their head, or they're just saying and they want to join, and they get in just sometimes that easy. It didn't seem like there was really any involvement there. Sometimes I worry that they're going to leave the business as easy as they came into the business. So if somebody raises a concern, it means they're actually paying attention. They're actually thinking about it. They're actually, what you're sharing with them, they're going over in their mind. And so some of these things are old, just basic principles that you can read in books, years and years ago. But what I found is that a true principle is universal. And I'm always looking for the true principle, because that's something that doesn't change. So there's a few things in here that they might seem simple, but that's the thing. It's usually simple. We always complicate things and make it a lot more complicated than it needs to be. So anytime somebody has a concern, one of the things I like to say is, what do you mean exactly? Obviously I have a good reason for saying that. Do you mind if I ask what it is? Because if somebody says it's too expensive or this or that, I want to know what they're comparing it to. What do they mean exactly? They don't like what do they mean exactly? I want to know, do they have a bad experience in the industry? If maybe that's their hang up. And then it's always important, this time-tested, feel, felt, found approach, I just love, because it just works. A lot of times when people say, well, I really like what you're talking about, I just don't have the time. And I say, well, how do you mean exactly? I mean, obviously you have a good reason for saying that. Do you mind if I ask what it is? Well, I work all day. The kids have their activities, this and that, and they're telling you everything. I don't even have time to sit down and eat dinner with them, let alone, do something else, add something else on my plate. Okay. And then if you say, well, you know what? Here's what I think. If you do this, then you're going to have more time to do what you want to do. I mean, if it comes from me, it can put up those walls. If it's my opinion, well, here's what I think, or here's what my suggestion would be. Sometimes you can put up those walls a little bit easier. But as you're using a third party, And that's where third-party validation and three-way calling comes into play, where you can get somebody in the same similar situation and diffuse that because it's not you. But if you don't have somebody on the call with you or anything like that, you want to use third party. And that's where the Phil felt found is, and said, you know what? I know exactly how you feel. I've got a lot of people in my team that felt the same way. But here's what they found is that it really didn't take them more time. They just needed to use the time that they had more effectively. So instead of just, driving to work, they had obviously wireless Bluetooth and they were making some calls. Instead of doing this, so it's not that it took any more time. They just focused some of the time that they had on other things to this. And because of that, they were able to free up and make some money that they were able to free up some time and actually start to sit down and have dinner with their family. You want to turn their problem into a benefit. How can we flip that and have it be a benefit to them? Okay, so this Phil felt found, it's de-arming him the fact that it's not you attacking him. Here's what I think you should do. So once again, either use somebody else, say just once, I was working with a guy, Dennis, and he was kind of in the exact same scenario. But in under a couple months, he's been able now to quit that second job and free up a lot more time. Just a second, let me see if I can get him on the phone. Okay, that's a powerful thing too. If you've had somebody that you can get on there that's had a powerful experience that is their same problem, somebody else was able to overcome. And so what I tell people is I never argue price, ever. I don't ever argue price because it's only a perception of value. If somebody thinks our price is too expensive, once again, I want to know where they're coming from because I know they're not comparing apples to apples because there's nothing out there like what we've got, the way we do it. And so that's one thing. Another thing is it's a perception of value. And I know that if somebody's arguing price, I haven't done a good enough job in creating the value of either the product or the opportunity. Because if the value in their mind is higher than the price, even if the price was $5,000, which guys, we don't have anything like that in this company, but even if it was, okay, if the value in their mind is greater than that, they'll find the money. They will, because the value is there. Same thing with the price. It's always a perception of perceived value. And so, really, if somebody is, like I said, they've got an issue with that, we know that we need to become better at being able to share how valuable this product is or how valuable this opportunity is. Guys, I've seen people sell kitchen tables and in some of the poor markets that I've been in, I've seen people sell cars. Some of them didn't have cars, kitchen tables, TVs, you name it, to get the money to get involved. And it was for one reason. And that was because the value was there in their mind. People don't have the money until it's something that they want. They don't have the money, but if their fridge dies, they'll go and spend another $700 or $1,000 to save $100 worth of food that they have, because it's something that they need. If their favorite car was in front of their house and you said, if you can get me $1,000 cash in the next 3 hours, they're going to find it because they know that the value of that car that's their favorite is worth way more than that money you're asking for. So just remember, just to never argue that, and always make sure that you're focused on the value that's at hand. Okay, so through the rain cycle, if you go and you print this out, you're going to get some different examples that you can go through, that we kind of show you step by step. But like I said, this is a team business and it's a team approach, and you're always going to see more success if you utilize other people. You're always going to see more success if you're using third party. Once again, because it's not you, you're de-arming, and at the same time, you're bringing somebody in that can validate what you've just said and can help show them that there's a way to overcome their concern. So one of the things in committing, there's a couple of ways that you can do this. First off, it's just really important to understand that the most important person that you ever recruit in the business is you. If you're recruited in the business and you believe in this product and you believe in where we're going as a company, you become bulletproof. And what I mean by that is it doesn't really matter what people say. If people say yes or no, those people that see huge incomes in this industry are bulletproof because they just do it. Guys, once again, we're just trying to what are we trying to collect? We're trying to collect decisions. We're just decision collectors. Some of them are going to be no's, but some of them are going to be yeses. And all we're doing is we're collecting. We don't get hung up on which ones the no's are and the yeses are. We just keep doing it. But it's important, first and foremost, that you become once again somebody that is really sponsored into this business, that gets it. People want to follow people who know where they're going. People want to follow people who can talk to them with confidence. And once again, if you're like, hey, this is something I'm just kind of looking at, I'm going to kind of wait and see what happens. I mean, maybe you should too. Yeah, there's not very much conviction behind that. If somebody is like, I've seen a lot of things, never seen anything like this. I'm telling you right now, this is something that you really should consider, or whether it's a product of the business. If people can tell that you're once again in love with what you're doing and you're passionate about it, guys, a lot of it's not the words that we use, it's how we use them. And it's how, like I said, it's the energy that they can feel and that excitement. That's why you can get a new person into the business that doesn't really know very much about the product, doesn't know much about the compensation plan, doesn't know much about it, and they can still get people in the business because of their energy. Because of once again, the people can feel it, they can see the excitement, and it's something that you can't fake. People can tell. So once again, no matter what, you need to make that decision that this is something that you're going to do and you're going to be successful and you're going to the top and you want to take who wants to come with you there. All right. And so there's really 3 types of categories that we're going to get in this business. We're going to get customers. We're going to get a lot of them. And so if somebody's not interested in the business, the beautiful thing is this product, once again, we got to get it in as many people's hands as we can. Because a lot of people that we have weren't even planning on really being active RAIN partners and distributors with us, but they just had a positive experience on this product because they got it and they experienced something on it. So a lot of customers can turn into RPs or RAIN partners in your organization. You're going to have small business builders. These are people that want to do this part-time, make a little extra money on the side. Then you're going to have the big business builder, the person that wants to totally replace their income and go out there and double and triple and quadruple what they're making now. So you're going to have different people. The thing that I love about RAIN is our compensation plan is catered to every single person. We're not saying this is a compensation plan that works for the part-time person when it really doesn't. Because there are companies and comp plans out there that say that, but there's no way that you can hit their quotas and their minimums and what you're supposed to do in the time frames they give you if you're part-time. There's no way. And in RAIN, it's absolutely possible. That's how we have it structured. So a lot of times, if you know what these 3 types of groups are, you can just ask somebody. And sometimes in a big group meeting, I'll just do that to try to make it easier for the person that maybe brought somebody and is scared. They don't understand how to collect decisions and get the result. You can just say, once again in a larger group meeting that, hey, most people are going to fall into one of 3 categories. You either want to take the product and try it. You want to do this kind of part-time on the side, make some additional money for that car payment, extra money for groceries, whatever an extra couple $100 could do to change your life. Or you've got somebody that wants to do this huge. They want to go out there and they want to make some big money. Now, I don't know which one you are, but whatever category you fall into, just let the person know who invited you. I don't want you to feel awkward or anything. Just let them know what category you fall into, and we'll take it from there. So I do that sometimes to make it easy. Now, if you notice, there's not a category to do nothing. There's not a category to, hey, I'm going to think about it category. People should at least try the product. I mean, and then obviously, if they don't even want to do that, we're always asking for referrals. We always ask for referrals, but they should at least try the product. And so these are the 3 categories that I'm going to mention if I'm doing a presentation to try to help. Another thing is what I mean when I say tie it down. You want to know where people are at. Sometimes what I'll do too is I tell people, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most interested, 1 being the least. I mean, where are you? Is this something that you're intrigued in? Obviously, I don't want you to feel any pressure, but at the same time, I want to know where you're at. And sometimes say, well, I'm a 9. So that's fantastic. Usually if anybody tells me they're a 5 or higher, I'll say, well, that's great. You could go either way. Here's what you need to do. There's nothing to lose. Let's do this thing. Then you can get them on some product, and with the kits that we have in place, guys, the difference between a box of product and getting them involved and getting positioned is really not that big a difference right now. So get them in. I mean, I've seen this happen this last week quite a few times where someone was just interested in becoming a customer just to test the product out first. But like I said, the big difference between at least, right, getting involved and getting a position and trying a product's not that big a deal. So they got in. Okay, if somebody says, I'm a 3 or something, I say, well, you know what? It sounds like it's not something that really is interesting you. And so let's get you on some product and get you to try this and become passionate and understand who we are and feel the benefits of this product. And let's see what we can get you to do after that to get you to a 9 or 10. What do I have to do if somebody says they're a 7 or whatever? Sometimes, what do I have to do to get you to 10? What do I have to do to get you to a 9 or a 10? I'm gonna ask them. And this is, once again, this is just another way to get a commitment out of somebody. And one of my favorite things is I love to say a couple. I just assume people want to get in the business. Why would they not want to get in this business? I mean, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. That's why we were willing to do what we were willing to do to take this thing over and to go the right direction. Is because I'd never seen or experienced anything in a story that just resonated with people, product that just worked, a story of the seeds that I just loved and people understand, and the science. I'd never seen something so easy and so simplistic as our story. And so one of my favorite things is I love to say, let's suppose. And so if somebody says, you know what, I like what I'm hearing, but I just need to know more about the product. Okay, and then what you would say is, okay, well, besides that, is there anything else holding you back? And if they say something else, well, I need to talk to my spouse. Then I say, well, besides that, is there anything holding you back? I just keep saying that until there's nothing left. And let's say they say, I need to learn more about the product and I need to talk to my spouse. I'm going to say, okay, besides that, is there anything else going back or holding you back? No. Then here's what you say. I love let's just suppose. So just suppose you learn more about the product and it's everything that we're telling you it is. And we sit down with your spouse and go over this, and she's on board and she sees the excitement in it and likes the product as well. Let's just suppose that happens. Will you do it? Will you join us? Because I want to know. I want to tie it down. I want to know, am I wasting my time? And so I always just suppose. Because what this does is I'm still getting a commitment out of them somewhat. I know what I need to do now to get them to join my business or my organization, because they've told me if these two things are overcome, that they're joining my business. So now I know exactly what I need to do. If you don't do this, what happens is people drag you out sometimes. They're like, well, send me some product and I need to learn more about this product. Okay, well, let's get you some product. I really don't want, can you have any samples or whatever? So they start taking some product, and then I need to know more about the comp plan. And then you start telling them about the comp plan. And then it's this, and then it's that. And then pretty soon they don't answer your phone call anymore. So you just wasted weeks, if not a month or two, with this person stringing you along, and they ended up not getting in your business anyway. Okay? I do not have time to waste, and neither do you. We don't have time to waste. And so I want to get that commitment. Let's just suppose. Sometimes, too, when I'm talking to big leaders that are in the industry, I'm not going to, a lot of people are committed to what they're doing, and obviously those types of things. And sometimes what I'll say is, let's just suppose that what we have here is really amazing. Because if I say my dad can beat up your dad, and we have that type of a thing, that doesn't ever work out. You get in those situations where whose company's better, whose product's better, all that type of stuff. And you're not going anywhere. So I just say, look, a lot of times I'll say, let's just suppose that this product really is all that we're saying it is. And let's just suppose that the people that you're working with can see better results, not only with the product, but with the company and the compensation plan. If that were the case, would you be open to joining? I'm not saying it is, really. I'm just saying, let's just suppose. Guys, it's a non-threatening way to just get people to tie down. And what I mean tie down, commit to something. Okay, I tell people all the time, I like no's. I'd rather know if it's a no. I like yeses even better. But maybes waste everybody's time. So if it's going to be a no, I'd prefer to know. We don't need everybody, guys. I don't want everybody. If we have to talk people constantly into joining our business, you know what else we need to talk them into doing? Everything else. We have to talk them into getting on training calls. We have to talk them into doing things. We have to talk them into coming to an event. We have to talk them into buying an auto ship and getting product. It's too exhausting. Too exhausting. And I don't have the time. I want people that get it. I want people that want to do it. Okay? Not that I have to talk into and resell every time I talk to them on the opportunity and what's going on here. We don't have the time for that. Right? So this is really, really important in tying down. Like I said, just suppose. I love that. Okay? So there's after that, you want to make sure that you're following up. There's different ways to follow up, but if somebody's trying the product, that's the next step, them getting their product and following up. If somebody needs to know more information on the compensation plan or whatever, this is where within 48 hours you want to at least be sitting down with them or on the phone with them. They needed to talk to their spouse, and you want to be the one that does that, and not have them regurgitate the information that they just heard. There's no way they're going to be able to do that. If it's a valid concern, then I let people know, hey, well, I don't know if you've ever gone home and told your wife something or your spouse something, they just shot bullet holes through it. But here's what we need to do. When's the time where we can get on the phone with your spouse and we can kind of explain it? I know you've only heard this once, so let us, get on the phone and explain it, be able to answer any of her questions and take it from there. So you're going to want to make sure with this follow-up that once again, you're a part of it and you're using yourself and other third-party validators in your team, and you do it quickly. A week from a meeting, after somebody's come to a meeting or heard a presentation or been on a call, a week from them, they're not going to remember what they did that day. I mean, life's busy, so it's important that we're following up while it's fresh in their mind, while they're thinking about it. And once again, I know that the opportunity is compelling, so we want to make sure that while they're still excited and in that heightened state of awareness of who we are, we're moving forward to making that decision and collecting that result, whether it's yes or no. Now, you see, I fly a lot all over the world, and it's really, as I mentioned, we're just collecting these decisions. The lady that goes down the aisle and she hands peanuts to everybody. She just walks down and she's like, peanuts? Peanuts? We got the stewardess that's just handing out peanuts if they want it. I've never yet, it hasn't happened yet, where somebody has said no, where I've seen her get offended and go cry in the back of the plane. I've never seen that happen. I've never seen her get, no, you don't want peanuts, and then run to the back of the, I've never seen that happen. That's all we're doing in this business is we're asking people, do you want peanuts or not? Do you want what we have or not? I don't really care if the answer is yes or no. Obviously, I'd love it to be yes, and you'd join us for real and be serious about it. But we want the people who want it. All right? And so here at Rain, we talk about, water and rain and everything like that. Here's your drip list. And what your drip list is, these are your people that aren't interested. Now, when they say interested, I always put not now at the end. Like, I'm not interested. They're not interested in the business now. Maybe the timing's off a little bit. Maybe things are going to change in the future. So you want to put them on your drip list. And this is, these are the people that you're going to just continually update, that you're going to anytime something big's happening, anytime there's a big event, anytime there's a new country that's opening, anytime something happens, you're going to drip on these people. And so, for example, if we're going to open, let's say Mexico, what you do is you call back all your drip list, and you could even say, hey, Sam, I know I talked to you about this rain thing and you really weren't that interested in it, but let me tell you something. We're getting ready to open up Mexico. And so I just wanted to call and ask you, because like I said, I'm not asking you to look at this again right now, but do you know anybody in Mexico or somebody that knows people in Mexico or somebody that's interested in making some additional money or somebody that has pain or any of these? You're talking to them, and most likely they do. But what's happening is as you're asking for these referrals, a lot of times, if they give you the referral, you're going to go talk to the person. They're going to want to join, and you can go back to the person and say, hey, that person that you gave me, they're going to join the business. Now, you probably want to get in the business so you can take advantage of this. It's another way to do it, to once again expose them to the opportunity again through their referrals that they give you. And so I'm always dripping on people. I'm always dripping on people. And sometimes you never know when the timing's right. All of a sudden, 3 months down the road, it might be right. But you just been dripping and you just been dripping and talking and talk. But one of the things I always do that you want to do to make sure that you leave the front door open, never close the door. Guys, it takes a lifetime to create a friendship. It takes a minute to lose one. Okay, it's not worth it. There's a lot more things in life that are important than business and this opportunity. You know, relationships are really important. You don't have to ruin any of them. And so you want to leave that door open always. So if somebody tells me that they're not interested, what I'm going to say is I'm going to say, okay, well, you know what? If this thing continues to take off like it's predicted to, is it okay if I, tap you on the shoulder in a month or so and let you know how it's going? I've never had somebody tell me no. And then what happens is now you've left that door open. So when you call somebody in a month or two or a few weeks later and you say they're not gonna be like, hey, I told you I wasn't interested. You can say, hey, remember, I asked you if it was okay if I tapped you on the shoulder in a couple minutes to let you know how this was going. Yeah, you're not gonna believe what's going on. This thing is going crazy. You seriously need to take another look at this thing. you know and you can, because you left that door open, you have an opportunity once again to drip on them a little bigger and harder as you're as you're seeing success and things are happening in your team and in your organization. All right, so don't forget the drip list. Just because they say no doesn't mean that it's no forever. It's no, not now. I remember when I first got into this industry, most of the people that told me no my first 90 days, those were people that were some of the closest friends and family that I had, when I was starting the business. That's kind of who I started with. But most of the people that said no my first 90 days, almost all of them were in my business by the end of the year. Almost every single one of them, because they saw what was going on. They would ask me 2 or 3 months down the road, how's that thing going? And I would tell them, and they'd be like, whoa, maybe I should have taken that serious. Maybe I should have listened to you, or maybe I should have, wow. I mean, because every single person has probably had somebody contact them, tell them that, they've got something that they're excited about and they're fired up about. And then 2 months later, when they ask them how they're doing, they're like, I'm not really doing that anymore. I'm not really focused on that anymore. Well, I'm glad I didn't join your team. They're thinking in the back of their mind, man, you just left me and abandoned me. Obviously, you're committed to that. But when they see you 3 months later, 6 months later, 9 months later, and you're still committed and you're moving forward and you're seeing success and results, okay, they're gonna see that this isn't just a thing that you were kind of excited about and not serious about. So, like I said, just because somebody says no, especially at the beginning of your business, you're going to be able to validate this business by the fact that you're sticking to it, by the fact that you're moving forward and doing it. And that's exactly kind of what I saw, and then I could show people and tell people what was going on in my team and organization. And they can't refute that. And so it's pretty exciting, guys. So really today, as we focus on the result, that's really what we're after. We're after just collecting those decisions so that we're not wasting our time, and we're not wasting their time, and we can take the people that really get it and move forward, because this is going to move forward. We don't need everybody. That's the beautiful thing about this. We don't need everybody. We just need the people that get it. And the power of this product, in and of itself, is such a secret weapon. I mean, it's the most powerful thing that we have at our fingertips, is a product that really does make a difference. And like I said, I've been in this industry for a while, never had a product this powerful, and the game has just gotten so much more fun. Because that's what it is. To me, I almost wake up every morning. It's kind of like a treasure hunt. I'm excited. Who's the new person we're going to get in the team that's going to take us to the next level? What's the new product story that I'm going to hear today about how this product, it's just exciting. And I really do believe, and I don't want it to sound like something that everybody says out there, because I've heard this a lot, but what we have really is a game changer, guys. It really is, because the product is real, and it's an aspect that not everybody in this industry has. They don't have a product like we do, or a story, or the timing. So I want you to go out there and, like it says here at Rain, build with confidence. If you have a plan, if you know what you're going to do, you can go out there and execute with a lot more confidence, because you're not winging it. We're professionals here. And that's why, as we hone in these skill sets, Just like any other industry that we're in, you want to become a professional, and you're going to do that if you have a plan and you know what you're doing and you're trying and striving to become better. That's what the rain cycle is all about. Just focusing on those key principles, to help people once again build with confidence and become better. So thank you so much for getting on the webinar this morning. And we'll do this again next Saturday, as we're doing this on Saturdays, talking about different principles of the business. We're going to start inviting different leaders to get on and share some of their experiences with me from around the world. And it's going to get fun as we start seeing and incorporating more and more people. So it's not just Byron talking on Saturdays. There's some key things that I wanted to go over with this rain cycle. And then we're almost done with this rain cycle, and we're going to start focusing on some other things that I think you're going to be excited about as well. So wish everybody all the success. We have today and tomorrow. This has been a fantastic week here in North America. And congratulations to everybody. It's our biggest week we've ever had. And let's go out there and continue to collect decisions and share what we've got with people. So let's go out, everybody, and let's go out and make it rain. Have a fantastic Saturday and have a fantastic rest of your week. Take care, everybody. Bye.